Like my story?
No, not your story, a story. Since you can't keep your mouth shut long enough for me to read my paper, tell me a story.
I don't think I know any stories.
You don't know any stories?
No.
All right, I'll tell you a story. This is a newspaper, right? It's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining. That's why I read it, because it entertains me. You won't let me read it. So you entertain me with your bullshit. Tell me a story right now. Go.
What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am always your host, Edwin, where the wall fights start.
Round one.
Let's go. So, wow, we already got some people in here talking about it. Man, yeah, rest in peace to Cologne. I heard about that. The rabbit punches behind the head. Um, man, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna talk about that. We're also going to talk about this Conor Benn fight. Oh shit, I got this thing going. 10-9. Yeah, 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 right. I was supposed to add that in. But we're also going to talk about Conor Benner, Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia. And a lot of boxers chimed in on their opinion on who they think is going to win this fight between Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn. And you're gonna be surprised who had Ryan Garcia, and you're gonna be surprised who had Conor Benn. So stick around for all that and more. Yo, do me a favor, don't forget to hit this like button. And like always, let's hop right into this episode, guys. What's up, Richard? Yes, man. I heard about the news about Cologne, and those were injuries that he sustained in the ring. He was he took several rabbit punches behind the head, and this should be, something that the boxing really needs to, it's been around for a long time, rabbit punching. And unfortunately, we lost a brother in arms here, a brother in boxing. Cologne, he will be deeply missed. Um, I'm left at a loss of words. I saw the fight. I went back and I was reminded about the fight today when they announced that he passed away. You want to go back and relive it and see what happened and stuff. And I feel like, let's as a matter of fact, let's give Cologne the 10 count, the 10. Can I get a moment of silence for Cologne? Yo, man, uh that's never a good thing. Um, but I think that rules need to be put in place for these things, and officiating needs to be really, keyed in. And you know one punch behind the head, that's the warning. The second, points deduction. The third or the fourth, disqualification type shit. You should be able to restrain yourself, depending on the referee's sight of vision. uh and these things need to be put in place. These kind of accidents, they're not going to be overlooked. Cologne was deeply loved, and he left behind the family that very much loves him. And there's no one to blame here. I'm not pushing blame on anyone. But these things need to be further for the health and the longevity of the fighters. And these situations should not happen for us to open our eyes, but there has to be some rules put in place. Things have to change. That rabbit punching behind the head, very dangerous, cost a young man his life, and I'm saddened. I'm saddened. My condolences to the Cologne family, and you know, um, I'm just speechless. I'm speechless. I didn't when it I got the news today, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And it awoke me back to the incident and what had occurred. Yes. Give me a moment, please. Man. Uh yeah, so I'm just gonna leave that like that. I don't wanna you know, I don't want to bring down the mood and anything because the show must go on, but you will never be forgotten in the sport of boxing, my brother. Shout out to you and everything that you've done for the sport. So, yeah, rest in peace, champ. Yeah, absolutely. I am I am not that sad that um Patrice Capone passed away. The way he was living is living. Oh, like in the sense that he lived his life to the fullest. He died doing the very thing he loved doing. So it's like you're not sad for him in the sense that you're trying to spin it and have a good look on what he stood for, you know, and the pursuit to being a boxing pro. So I get it. I get it. Yes. You know, there are a lot of things in this world we can go outside and lose our life over. You name it. There's a million ways to die. You know what I mean? But there's a small portion of us that pass away doing the one thing we love. And if you ask me, you know, and they asked you and you had the choice, if you can pass away doing the one thing you love, would you do it? And, full heartedly, with a full heart, I would know I would do it because it would obviously be something that I'm passionate about. It would be something that I have pursued, and it was just a tragic accident. There are many, many other sports, bungee jumping, those guys parasailing, accidents happen, up in those balloons and things and, you know, um, jumping out of planes and stuff. And these guys have these accidents and the families look back and they can truly say that, they miss their loved one. They're, they want, they would love to see their face again. They would trade it all away for them. But if it was up to their loved one, they were doing something they enjoyed. There's just a lot of different ways we can lose our life. I can walk outside and get a piano dropped on my head, for as funny as that sounds, right? So, when these unfortunate events happen and they occur, you know, it's not like he walked in a convenience store and there was a robber and stuff. And I was like, man, that was a tragic situation that should have never happened. This never should have happened itself. I'm not minimizing it. No, I don't want to come across that way. But it was something that he loved doing, and it was his passion. You understand? And that's what I mean. I'm just going to leave that alone right there. So, yeah, guys, man, it was just salute Frontline. What's up, brother? In the building. Frontline, where you been? Working, huh? Working hard. They working you. Yo, you got to get that paper, baby. Frontline has been out there, repping Round One Sports Talk. He does his job with the Round One Sports Talk T-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Him and the missus. Yo, I say that joking around, and as I'm saying it, I'm saying, wait a minute, why aren't you doing that? Yo, so anyway, Frontline, hop on whenever you're ready. I know you're gonna come up, in a minute. Let me get through my little monologue type thing. So the topic is Ryan Garcia, Conor Benn. A lot of fight fans went too quickly to social media to voice their opinions on who they thought was going to win this matchup. But not only fight fans and reporters, commentators, they all had their little go at it. But fighters themselves, current fighters and legendary fighters that retired, Terrence Crawford. He even chimed in, fighters like commentator like Tim Bradley. He said what he wants. Shakur Stevenson picked a fighter between Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn. Now, Shakur Stevenson picked Ryan Garcia. Tim Bradley picked Ryan Garcia. But Terrence Crawford, he picked not once, but twice so far. He picked Conor Benn. I had to think about that one for a second. I had to really think about that because Terrence Crawford has a great eye for boxing. I respect what Terrence Crawford has to say. When Terrence Crawford says something about a boxing match, I don't take it lightly at all. But the fact of the matter that Terrence Crawford obviously made new friends in the sport of boxing, some acquaintances. Let's just call it like that. Turkey Al Sheikh. Turkey Al Sheikh's fighter is Conor Benn, that he's promoted by who? Dana White, that Turkey Al Sheikh owns. Dana White. He works for who? Turkey Al Sheikh, Dana White. He works for him. So all of a sudden, Turkey got Terrence Crawford to say that the belts ain't shit and that the Ring Magazine belt is the best belt. Well said from the man that gave you your biggest payday in your entire career, all put together. Every dollar you've ever made, this guy gave it to you on one night for fighting Saul and more. And more. He probably doubled it, tripled it. So, of course, you're going to have loyalty to the guy that when you cash that check, it didn't bounce. That money cleared. I'm going to love that dude forever. He changed my life. I know I had to do the work, but without you, I don't make this kind of money. You just bought what? The Ring magazine? What would you like me to say? Hey, the belts ain't shit. Ring magazine belt is the best belt in the world. Then all of a sudden, Conor's their fighter. And I had to sit back and I had to think about this one. I said, is this a case where Terrence is being, hey, Terrence, not for nothing. What's Ryan to you? Ryan ain't shit to me. Okay, then. Ryan ain't shit to you. He ain't one of yours. He ain't one of your mans. You ain't come up with him, right? Listen, can you side with Conor? Sure, you got that. No problem. Thank you for the fucking 50 million. Thank you. And I sit back and I wonder, or is this Terrence's real opinion? Is this his real eye? So when I heard that from Terrence, I was just like a little taken back. I didn't know which way to take it. Because I seen what's been going on in Terrence Crawford's situation and his newfound buddies that paid him a shitload of money. I would fucking love them dudes too. They literally changed his life, right? Okay. They telling him they're going to give him an outrageous amount of money to come back to fight Jerome Butenis. And he's been holding out for that bag to get bigger. Terrence Crawford. So he's going to do business once again with Turkey. It's going to happen. Terrence has been jonesing to get a fight. But Conor's their guy. Ryan Garcia is not their guy. That's Oscar De La Hoya's guy. That's Golden Boy's guy. But Conor's their guy. You understand? Because Dana White owns Conor now, not Ed Hearn anymore. So it's like I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, all right, Terrence, is this one of those situations where they're fooling you into it and trying to get you to stamp their guy? Or is this what you really see, Terrence? Because I'm watching Conor Benn, right? Besides the dramatic weight loss that has, he does look okay. He's looking weight drained because of the size that we just recently, for the last 2 or 3 years, have been watching him at, right? But that's Conor right there, Conor Benn at 147. That's the Conor Benn at 147 that always wanted to win a title at what? 147. That fought where? At 147. Now, Conor Benn, what he's experienced right now is a little bit of karma, if you ask me. Just a little bit of karma. When he talked all that shit about Chris Eubank Jr. and him cutting weight to make the fight, to fight him, and when Chris Eubank Jr. got rolled off in the first fight that he was victorious, and he got brought off in the ambulance, and Conor Benn made all that's bullshit, this, that, he's making excuses, shit like that. Like it's all woe me. He won the fight, fine. When Conor Benn beats him the second time, Conor Benn went on his, oh man, I don't want to hear that you was weight trained. I want to hear shit. I whooped your ass. Ba ba ba. Now Conor Benn is about to go in a fight. He looks a bit weight drained, but I had to ask myself, I had to go back and go look at the Conor Benn that used to fight at that weight. I had to go see his fights. He wasn't as big. He wasn't, like that. And he's gonna experience a little bit of karma. He's gonna know what it was like for Chris Eubank Jr. to cut all that weight to fight him while he's walking to the ring eating a cheeseburger. He didn't cut a pound. He went in there fully fucking as big as he could, fucking ran in there with Chris Eubank Jr. not once but twice. And Chris Eubank Jr. was killing himself to make this weight. And Conor Benn was like, I'm not trying to hear it. The second time I beat you, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, when I see him making the weight against Ryan, who was it up there? Somebody up there said that he thinks that Conor Benn is going to miss weight. He's going to come in like 153, 154, whatever, and it's going to be up to Ryan to take the fight. Well, I disagree. I disagree with that because I'm not sure if you're taking into account that he would also have to be giving up his opportunity of winning a world title for the first time, Conor Benn. The minute you miss weight, that WBC world title goes out the window. The only one that can win it is Ryan. And still, you would have did all this to go to make this sacrifice to get here, not to go to the extra mile to try to get the belt that you petitioned to fight. You called out Ryan Garcia. Conor Benn said, I'll go down to 147. Those are your words, not mine. So do it. Be a man of your word. If he goes in there at 154 and blows the fucking tight, bro, this is the stigma that Conor Benn has. You do know that Conor Benn has never won a minor world title. He's never won a regional world title, a major world title, no kind of title. Not even the Boys Club Champion of America title. I'm not even sure if he won first place in a boxing tournament as an amateur and won the fake gold medals. I'm not sure he won that. You understand? So it's like he's always a title. A championship is what eluded Conor Benn. And if you ask me, he's getting a free ride to the top. Because what the fuck did Conor Benn deserve or do or fight? Who did he fight that deserved him a shot at Ryan Garcia? Has he ever fought at 147? Where's his last two fights at? Let's start right there. Was it in the 147-pound weight division? No. He was up there at 160. So you had no obligation to the 147-pound weight division. How do you deserve a fight with Ryan? How? Who did you beat? Chris Eubank Jr.? He wasn't a world champion. Ryan Garcia is a world champion. Explain to me, how did you get a fight at 147? Tell you the truth, Conor shouldn't be in this situation. The way Ed Hearn promoted that man, and then he left Ed Hearn and went with Dana White, it was easy for Dana White to cash in on the chips. The great, famous Ryan Garcia. You gonna get paid, son, and we gonna get paid too. They have a contract with Conor, and I think it's coming down from his last fight, that mysterious $15 million. Then you got Jail Pataya, right? Jail Pataya is coming in, and Jail Pataya is fighting Noakes, right? For the WBC world title. Which, um, shit, man. I don't know, guys. I don't know about this one, right? Check it out, right? For as much as Dana White says, and I repeat this, on the Boxing Voice, Ness said to me, Edwin, you're wrong. And I said, why? I said, Dana White wants the belt. He said, you're wrong. I said, why? He said, because Dana White publicly came out round one and said he don't want nothing to do with the belts. And I said, yeah, that's what his mouth says. And that's just smoke and mirror. He wants everything to do with the belts. He said, round one, you're wrong. And I said, okay. And since then, bro, it seems like every card he's been putting on, he's been trying to get what? A world title fight. What is Jail Pataya fighting for? The WBC world title. Who is Jail Pataya signed to? Zuffa. For a man that claims he doesn't want the belts, man, you're fighting a lot of champions that have belts. You went and got Richard Hitchens, Jail Pataya. Now you got Conor Benn fighting for the WBC against Ryan. Now you got Jail Pataya fighting against Notes for the WBC. Then you just got McKenna, the IBF. Wow. Am I wrong? Or did I try to tell you guys that Dana White that was just a smoke screen? And I was right. And I know I'm right. And listen, let me tell you something right now, right? Um, Notes, okay. Ah, man, I don't know if he can beat Jai, man. I got Jai heavily favored in this fight, man. Come on, bro. Who did? Okay. Um, what was his name? Makembo, he fought him for the vacant world title. Notes. Then he fought Baru Jack. He lost the belt. He fought Baru Jack again. Right? The first one was what? A 12-round majority decision against Baru Jack with notes. So and then he goes again and fights Baru Jack and he takes him the distance. And this time he beats him, reclaims the WBC, and here we are now against Jail Pataya. I don't think he can beat Jail Pataya. And Zuffa's going to get that WBC world title. They already got the IBF now, but the one thing they're not going to have is a Zuffa champion because Jail Pataya is technically the Zuffa champion. Let's pay close attention to this fight with Notes and Jai, right? Because if he picks up that WBC and throws that Zuffa on the other side, that I want to see. That's the $1 million question right there. Did the WBC sell out? I want to know. And we're going to find out on that night. I really don't think that this Ryan card is that spectacular. You know, there was a rumor Schofield supposed to fight, right? And I still don't think that the card itself is. Hey, is Jairo Pataya gonna be wearing the Zuffa attire, or is he gonna be wearing regular blood boxing shit? How does this work? Because the Ryan card is in Las Vegas in the T-Mobile Arena, right? So that's in Las Vegas. Um, and the Zone is the one that's kicking off the fight, right? Let me see. Hold on. No, Paramount. Paramount Plus. T-Mobile Arena, Saturday, September 12th at the T-Mobile in Las Vegas, USA, right? It says promoter Dana White, Zuffa, matchmaker, right? Charles um Bosker, Charles Bosker for Zuffa. So the promoting is going to be handled by Dana White and Zuffa, right? The commission obviously is going to be the athletic commission of Nevada. That's for Las Vegas. Yeah. Okay. That's a no-brainer. Um, Ryan Garcia, let's see here. Why don't we search? He comes up quick. King Rye, they got the nickname and everything popping off. Okay, so Ryan is scheduled to fight him. Okay, so let's look at the what I want to look at. Ryan Garcia is coming into the fight. He has 25 fights, 20 ways by knockout. He has 2 losses. He got knocked out one time by Javante Tank Davis. He's 5'8.5". He has a 70-inch arm reach. He has an 80% knockout ratio, and that is King Rye. He is an orthodox boxer. So he's coming into the fight against Conor Benn. Okay. So Conor Benn is 29 years old. He's 5'8", according to Conor Benn. I don't think he's 5'8", but he's 5'8". He has a 56% knockouts ratio. He comes into the matchup with a 25, 1 and 14. 25 wins, 1 loss, 14 big ways by knockout. The only loss he suffered was the first fight against Chris Eubank Jr. Now, so event, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so does it say the same thing for Ryan? Let's see. Event Same shit. Dana White and Zuffa is in control of this fight, guys. Just in case you didn't know, okay? And that's how they were able to get Jayo Patai and everybody else. Oh shit! Frontline in the building. He's in the building. Frontline, what it do?
Corillo,
Yo,
what's
what's up,
happening,
man? How you been, perdido? ¿Cómo está, bro?
bro? Busy, busy, busy.
Busy?
That
Yeah.
time of year, you already know. I gotta take advantage. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Round One Sports Talk. Let's get it. Shout out, yo. Shout out to Richard. Shout out to Mac Majestic in the building, man. Lassa in the building. Bull Rider in the building. Bones in the building. Who else is in here? Richard Marueco Box. What is Marueco
Yo,
Boxing?
what's up with your mic today? You're like in and out.
You hear me?
Yeah, but it's like echoing a little. Like not like an echo, but like it's like cutting like a little.
Oh, I don't know. If
Damn.
it
So
continue, hold on. Hold on. Let me close out some apps here.
yeah,
That might be it.
yeah.
Hold
You
up.
sound good now.
I had to close
Hey,
everything
Edwin,
out.
Ryan Garcia is not a superstar. Who said that? Richard? Hey, Edwin,
Rich.
Ryan Garcia is not a superstar. Okay, tell that to his $10 million, 10 million followers on Instagram and social media. Tell that to them. Ryan Garcia is not a superstar. He has 10 million followers on social media. 10 million. He's not a superstar. I listen. Ever since he won that belt, that WBC world title, of course, we haven't seen him defend it yet. But I'm trying to tell you, so Ryan wasn't a superstar. You were right. You could have said that until he beat Mario Barrio. He really wasn't. He was a little overhyped, but he matched his hypeness. He matched it. Bro, once he won that belt, you can't tell that man nothing right now. He's he is a superstar in that sense because superstar status in the face of boxing actually has nothing to do with boxing. It's the most popular fighters. Who's the most popular? And you can go almost anywhere in the US and say Ryan Garcia, they're going to know who he is. So in that regards, he is very popular. He is a superstar. Yes, he is. He has the same buzz as Tank, but like right now, right? Go anywhere and let's just say I don't know. Uh say Oshaki Foster, the WBC world champion.
Hey, Ron
Say
Edwin.
you're not
They're
gonna
saying the great shout out to the greedy one, Herrera, Hadriel Herrera, and Thai Collection. They're saying that I sound good, but it's your mic that's slow. They said
my mic
frontline
is
sounds
slow.
good, but round one sounds really low.
My mic is low.
There you go, fucking with the settings again.
Okay, how about right there? Let me know now. Frontline sounds good to me, but round one sounds really low. Okay, he sounds good.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Shut up. Shut up. Yeah, I had one of the other things set lower
Yo,
because
can you
I,
do me a
I I
solid,
took a little
Edwin?
bit off, but it should be all fine right now.
Can
So
you do me a solid,
anyways,
Edwin?
what was that?
Leave the fucking settings alone.
Hold on, we don't even it's still low. You see, this guy is like, hold on, I got you. What about there right now? Tell me if that sounds good right there. I'm trying to tell you that's gonna be it right there. I think we are onto something. Hold on. Let's see. Oh shit, that's awfully low up there. 39. Well, was I bugging? Okay, let's bring it up to 48 at least. All right. And then like bring that down a little bit. I might have been bugging right there. All right. But now I'm not tripping.
It's just sound. You sound good on my end. I don't know about the YouTube side. Melasa says Marruecos boxing, dímelo papi. Javier says still low.
Well,
Bo,
that was old news. That was old news. That was old news.
yeah, that was
Fine.
a
See,
bo,
see,
bo.
see, because Malasa just said fine right now. That was old. That was old adjustment.
Bull Rider says I on this chat because Frontline reads the chat. Facts.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well,
Shout out to Low Nose Test. Salute Street Ninja. Round one, the voice of the bodies. Nuclear Arsenal said Melissa loves. I don't know whatever that means. Melissa says the tie says it's still the same. Yo, Nuclear, come on, Bob. Keep this shit professional. Keep it boxing. You want to get at Melissa, get at him. But come on, man. Take that word out your mouth.
yeah, man.
Uh, the tie collection said didn't change. It it's a bit better, says the greedy one.
It's a little bit better, right? A little bit better or a lot better. Okay, now we adjusted. Now we messing with the mic like loudness. So let me know right now. Yeah, it's showing me over here better. Damn, why does that still? Hold on, 49. Yeah, I want to try it right there. Did I ever try 50? I'm not sure if I ever tried. All right, we're gonna go up to 54. That's it. That's as far as I'm gonna push it. That's as far as I'm gonna push it. You know what I mean? I got two thumbs up over there. You know what I'm saying? Is that two thumbs up? Is it cracking? Let me know.
It's only slightly better, but still low, says Javier.
Yeah, it's probably
Melasa
not
says
hopping
Ryan
right.
Garcia is a star and is becoming a superstar.
We have read some of the chat there. Go ahead.
Melasa said, "Who's trying to go toe to toe with me?" Question.
Mm,
That's BSBB Nuclear Arsenal. Melasa, he got nukes on your ass.
Nuke's always hopping in here saying some outrageous shit.
That's all right. Let him get his little clout.
Yo, so talk to me. What do you think about these fights, man? What's going on? What's going through your
Yo,
mind?
first of all, I want to say my prayers is out to the Colon family, Richard Colon, mother, father. I know it's tough losing a child, but what they went through during the process, it must have been hard for them. And then not to mention what Richard was going through during that time, sitting in the chair, not being able to do nothing for himself, so on and so forth. It's tough. So prayers out to that family. Prayers, go out to his loved ones, and hopefully we'll see him again in the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Absolutely,
Um,
man.
but yeah,
Go ahead.
Connor and Ryan. It's gonna be an exciting fight. Both fighters. That fight in the U.S. UK.
It's in Las Vegas. Yeah, Las Vegas,
Okay.
T-Mobile Arena, US.
That
You
fight's gonna sell like crazy. And the reason why I say that is because UK fans, they follow their guys to the fucking death. And then Ryan, of course, here in America, he's got a star status with social media, like you mentioned. So it's gonna be a good fight. I see Ryan, to be honest, I see Ryan probably stopping Connor in the mid rounds, somewhere between 5-7, 5-8, somewhere around there. I think Matt Majestic said it that Connor's gonna try to come in overweight. I can see that happening. If he does that, the belt line, that's number one. And number two, Ryan's just gonna attack the body and fucking fold him. That's just my opinion.
have a different of an opinion, of course. But almost the same, eerily similar. I think Ryan stops him within 4. I think that Conor Benn, his strengths are gonna be his weakness. Him coming forward like that, wanting to bulldozer Ryan, I think it's gonna be his downfall. I think Ryan's gonna show him that he can crack very terribly hard. I think that the weight cut from 160, 180, I think he blipped up at one time. At one point, he weighed in at like 180 and shit for one of those fights or something. I think that the weight cut is going to be a bit too dramatic. The fact that he already made weight, it was reported today that Conor Benn has already made weight leading into their September 12th fight. So he's way ahead schedule. And that's due in part that you want to do that so that you're more comfortable training and fighting in that weight. It shows that Conor Benn is serious about this fight and that he's actually giving it his all. I think no matter what he does and no matter that he's giving it his all, it's not going to be enough. I think Ryan Garcia is here to stay. I think Ryan Garcia has wisened up. He's starting to mature, and I think he's taking the sport a bit serious. And I hope I don't bite my words and go out there and see a Ryan Garcia that fought Rolly. Because and then at that moment, I'll know he didn't show up. But if Ryan Garcia puts on more than what he showed in the Mario Barrio fight, listen, people, I gotta alert you to something, right? What's puzzling you and frustrating you about Ryan Garcia is that he doesn't look that flashy. He doesn't have any special effects to that degree, but he is fast and he has that check hook. But you wouldn't consider that to be an ultimate fighter now, would you? Boxer? No. And the reason why he keeps winning and he was able to nullify great boxers like Devin Haney and good boxers like Mario Barrio, because Mario Barrio is way more skilled than Ryan. See, Ryan shutting these guys down by sheer volume of speed and power. He makes it look simple, just a boom, boom, straightforward. And that's all it takes to shut these guys down into the high guard. They hide behind that guard quickly, don't they? Luke Campbell tried to hide behind that guard, the gold medalist. Ryan Garcia said, okay, you want to hide up top? Boom, body shot. And then in the Mario Barrio fight, he kept implementing the straight right. I'm curious to see what he tries to set up. Maybe he brings the uppercut or the strong shot downstairs to the body. But I think that Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn's fighting styles fits right into Ryan Garcia. Remember when Fatuda pressured Ryan and he was going forward? Ryan just stepped back just a smidge. Ow, checked hooked him and dropped him. Right? And then, even Oscar Duarte said the punching power in Ryan Garcia. Didn't he knock out Oscar Duarte's back molder? Now I gotta ask myself these serious questions. Could Conor Benn beat Oscar Duarte? Could Conor Benn beat Devin Haney? Conor Benn suffered 3 gashes in his last fight against a non-mobile Regis Progress. He literally was standing there like this. In order for you to sustain cuts to a guy that's standing still and just going like this, you would have to be smacking into him. Because he's standing still. No head movement. Regis Progress was like this. Like that. And then every time Conor would come in, he would just throw punches. That means that Conor Benn did not understand distance. He didn't understand placement. He didn't understand that if I put my foot here and I raise up, I'm going to smack my head against his face. He couldn't figure that out. It shows me Conor Benn, you put your punches together in succession. Yes, like boom, 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 in succession. But you're not the greatest counterpuncher. You do have the ability to counterpunch, Conor. He does. He's shown it. But at a low level. I don't think he can counterpunch Ryan. What I'm expected to see, this is my prediction. I think Ryan Garcia gets him out of there within 4 rounds. Ryan's probably gonna pack him up. Um, Ryan is turning into a ferocious fighter. He's coming into his own and he's realizing his top gifts. He's realizing, wait a minute, I can stop these guys. I can beat these guys with this. And I don't think that Conor Benn possesses the right boxing abilities. Had he known about distance and timing, it would be a much different fight for Ryan for me. But Conor doesn't understand that. I don't think he's going to know how not to smother his punches in the fight. He's just going to be winging them out there. Now, anything can happen in a fight. I think Conor Benn can wing a punch, catch Ryan. Who knows? He put him down. And I'll be shocked. I'll be like, oh, shit, right? Okay. It happens, right? But what I'm saying is, if I had to break it down by their skill, I don't think that Conor Benn understands the right things that he needs to understand to be a fighter like Ryan. He lacks a few things that I need him to have. He has to have that distance. He has to know how to frame to give himself enough space to land the punch. Conor just throws the punch and he's stifling his own punch. He's making it harder on himself because he doesn't
Yeah, he can't.
understand that distance.
He won't be able to have that same game plan with Ryan. Ryan's gonna crush him.
I think Ryan's gonna, yeah, I think Ryan's gonna like pepper him with that 1-2 straight down the pike. He's gonna
And as he
sneak
comes
that
in, he's
check
gonna
hook.
catch him with that check left hook that he throws
Yeah,
that's
he's gonna
lightning fast, and he's
catch
gonna
him
knock him the fuck
downstairs.
out. Yep.
Yep, I think he's gonna catch him downstairs.
And
Connor's
fold
gonna
him.
go like this, and he's gonna bounce that check, the next one, off his temple, and that's all she wrote. And Connor's gonna fold like a lawn chair. That's what I think is gonna happen. For Terrence Crawford to come out and say that, I respect the legend, the GOAT, Terrence. I respect him. Fine, Terrence. This is what you see. If fucking Connor pulls it off, he's gonna make Terrence Crawford look like a fucking genius. I tell you that much, right? So, okay, Mr. Terrence Crawford, I'm not sitting here to say that I'm right and you're wrong. I respect what you had to say. Let's find out what happens September 12th. And I want to know what you guys think about this. I want to know what you guys, Ryan, what? Ryan Garcia, el what? What's that say?
He said Ryan Garcia, el llorón de las redes sociales, y por eso tú le llamas superstar. So he's saying he's the crybaby of social media, and that's what
Yeah.
you call him a superstar for.
Well, okay, listen.
It's,
Richard must be from the old school. Richard must be oh shit. Richard must be from the old school. You must be the type of guy that, you know, Ryan Garcia is not he no está demostrando que él es un hombre de, you know, I get it, Richard. You understand? But you gotta understand a lot of the people that support Ryan are younger people. A lot of younger people, they're not all boxing fans. And, he's starting to make his transition from just casual fans to real boxing fans. I think he won a lot of people over in the Mario Barrio fight, but like I'm with Richard in a way. You can never get back behind this kid, Ryan Garcia, and all his antics. That was the one thing that the WBC has always been trying to get a belt around this kid's waist, but he always fucks up. Even in the Devin Haney fight, he missed weight and he couldn't win the WBC world title that they try to put him in. He checks out all the boxes when it comes to a kid having good looks, being Mexican. You could promote him as the next Mexican Superboy. Then all of a sudden, Ryan starts going in these fucking rants about save the children, save the world. They're killing kids and God, and he starts praying on stage and drinking a beer. So it's hard to get behind Ryan and all his antics. And some point you can view him as being immature, real immature. Of late, I've seen him getting a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Can't hate on the young man for his lifestyle, his life choices. Brother, I can't tell you what I would do that young with that much money, looking like Ryan Garcia. All those women you see in pictures with him, yeah, that's about right. That's about right. Yep. You can call me stupid, anything you want. I say the most outlandish shit. You see them women in them pictures with Ryan Garcia? At your age, was you ever bagging anything remotely like that? Because he's picking out dimes all day, every single day. Ryan can literally go outside right now. Oh, I see you. Can go outside in a group of bad bitches. You, and you. Let's go. You think they ain't going?
I
And
think
it's not about his women's selection. I'm not trying to make it about that, but
but Edwin,
I'm
I
just
think
saying.
I think the misconception that people have, it's like Melasa says, the superstar status doesn't come from social media. The superstar status comes from Ryan actually puts asses in seats.
Yeah, he does.
That's where the
That he
superstar
does.
set. We're not talking about his boxing abilities and what he does. It's he puts asses in seats. That's where you get the superstar status from. If you can sell out an event, an arena, or whatever, that makes you a superstar. Doesn't have to be by your boxing, the way you fight or whatever. It's who you put in that arena, how you sell pay-per-view ticket, pay-per-views, how you sell, at the door and so on and so forth. That's what I think makes Ryan Garcia the superstar that
Yeah.
he is.
As far as like a superstar, tough guy, pound for pound type guy,
No.
see, because a lot of other people's versions of superstar, they got to be the best fighters in the world. And I think that that's where I've broken down many times here at Round One Sports Talk that the best fighter in the world, the pound for pound fighter, in the face of boxing are three separate entities. There just happens to be that in one point in time, not just one point in time, sometimes there comes along a fighter that can have all three. Mayweather. It was very rare. Manny Pacquiao. It was very rare, right? But sometimes people think that the face of boxing must be the pound for pound best fighter in the world or the best fighter in the world. And that's not true. See, the best fighter in the world for me was Terrence Crawford because he had the biggest challenge. He jumped up multiple weight divisions. He didn't fight a guy with one belt, he fought a guy with four belts, undisputed. So his challenge was tougher. That makes him the best fighter in the world. The pound for pound fighter in the world is Naoya Inoue. He, as a whole, as a complete, since the retirement of Terrence Crawford, he is the best whole fighter we have in the world. The most complete fighter is Naoya Inoue. And the face of boxing is not Naoya Inoue or Terrence Crawford. The face of boxing is still Saul Canelo Alvarez, Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, Jake Pauls of the world, even though he ain't fighting Tank Davis, shit like that. They're the most popular fighters, boxers we have. That if you were to go and put a boxing match somewhere or announcing, and you put up some of our stars on a billboard or on a, who would you put up there? You're gonna put up Tank Davis. You're gonna put up there Ryan Garcia because they're the most known boxers in the world. You understand? And the face of boxing is not the pound for pound, and it's not the best fighter in the world. It just sometimes, and if that was true, why didn't Terrence Crawford become the face of boxing when he beat Saul? Saul, still with no belts, is more popular than Terrence and would probably sell more than Terrence. Still. So it doesn't always work that way. And I think that some guys, out there and some of the fans get these things confused. And I understand the frustration and what they're saying. I understand it. You're not wrong. I know I can read what you're putting down. Ryan Garcia is not that good of a fighter. Why is he got like this star status? Listen, as far as the greatest pound for pound fighters and the best fighters, Ryan Garcia is not on a pound for pound list, is he? He's on no one's pound for pound list. I don't know a single person that ever said Ryan Garcia is number 5, number 4. No, I've never seen that. I probably stopped talking to that person, right? So, but he is a star. He is. Even when remember, what was this, like 2 months ago, a month ago, right before the Zurdo fight? The David the Monster Benavidez was waiting outside a restaurant in the beach. He was waiting for Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia pulled up, got out the car on like there. Everybody's filming this shit. You can go check this out. Everybody's filming it. And Ryan Garcia walks up, and David the Monster Benavidez is on his phone, but he's trying to whisper to Ryan, "Yo, Ryan, I didn't make any reservations here. Did you make reservations at this place?" Ryan said, "No, I didn't make any reservations." He says, "Well, then, I'm not. I have a problem getting in here. Ryan, and I call in a week advance, and I'm David the Monster Better a week advance, and I'm having problem getting in." Ryan walks right up, opens the door, and you know what they said? "Right this way, sir. Right this way." What did David the Monster Benavidez say? "Yo, I forget you're Ryan Garcia. I forget how strong your star status is." David the Monster Benavidez was standing outside, the champion of the world, the monster, standing outside. Ryan pulls up, no invitation, no reservation, nothing. Ryan walks up like, "I'm Ryan Garcia. You know what? Right this way, sir. We got a table for you." I think they might have beat up the people that were at a table and kicked them. "Get your ass out." This is Ryan Garcia. "Get out of here. You're done eating, Phil. You know what I mean? Your time is up." And David, he got David the Monster Benavidez in the spot. They bringing Ryan over shit that he didn't even order. And here, Ryan,
Hey,
try this
real,
out.
real quick, shout out to I Just Want the Truth. He said, "What's good? Frontline in round one." Melasa says Pitbull Cruz is a Mexican star. He sells tickets. Pitbull will sell out the fight versus Nestor Bravo. He is a Mexican who moves the Mexican masses. That's why he's the 140-pound interim champion.
Would you tell
Bulbos,
Frontline that?
Bulbos in the building. Saludos, Corillo. Bobo says, "Why Edwin ducked Caribe Boxing?" Um,
How did I duck Caribe Boxing? Wait. Back that up. How did I duck them? How? I was on a live the same night they were. They could have, and I told them I was going on the live, so we could have hooked up. All they got to do was send the invite. How did I duck? I showed up. They just never called me or never sent an invite or anything. I got no problem going over there kicking it, man. Yeah, I would love to go over there and talk some boxing.
Richard said, "Viste Frontline como se calentó todo." He said, "Shit's." He said, "I told you." He said, "You see Frontline, how shit's heating up, how everything's heating up." Talking about the whole Ryan Garcia, Conor Benn, and the superstar status
Yep,
and stuff like that.
yep.
And Richard is right. The masses are talking about this fight. You got two different points of views. Although Richard is he's going for Conor by knockout, by TKO actually.
Who
Um,
is? Who got
Richard,
him?
Richard,
Richard got him. Richard got
Richard got
Connor.
Conor Benn by TKO.
Oh, no, Rich is gonna show up to the fight party when we stream the fight September 12th. He better be here in the building. We going for that Notre Dame world champion. Y'all know who the Notre Dame
Yes,
world
yes, we
champion is.
are.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
Ivan in the building. Laughing emojis. Says Palomo. But yeah, this thing is it's heating up. There's a lot of upcoming fights that are
Yo,
heating
Bubbles,
up.
did you just call me a bird? Hey yo, Bubbles. Hey yo. That's cool. Palomo. Cabrón. Mira, anyway. Hey yo, Bobo. Hey, listen. Tell him I'm coming. Tell him.
What I was gonna say,
Go ahead.
there's a lot of upcoming fights that you know what's crazy that Melasa brought it up that Pitbull Cruz versus Nestor Bravo fight. That's
Tell
gonna
him,
be
Malasa.
an interest. That's gonna be an interesting
Hey,
fight.
hey, 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 Frontline, will you care to tell the fans who you got in the fight?
Dude, red, white, and blue. That's all I gotta say. Red,
Nesta Bravo.
white,
Listen,
and
I got
blue.
Isa Pitbull Cruz in the fight, right? And listen, I'm telling him Nesta Bravo, good fighter. I like the guy. You know, it's tough when you like two guys that are fighting against each other, but my boxing intuition, my boxing mind, my boxing insight, clearly tells me that I'm gonna have to go with Isa Pitbull Cruz in the fight. I
Hey,
think that
Edwin,
Isa Pitbull Cruz is gonna stop Nestor Bravo, in fact,
what
eventually.
that fight? When is that fight? Is it late August or is that in September? I think it's September if
Then
I'm not mistaken.
all right, hold on. Do I got it back here in the background? Hold on. I'll get that for you right now. So, no, do you know what card they're on?
I think they're the main event.
Really? Because I'm out of. Well, hold on.
Look,
Let
look,
me
look, look,
walk
look,
this.
look, look at Melasa. Melasa. Front line, D. We got Nestor Bravo by KO.
I don't have the Nesta Bravo here. In August front line
So
is
check
what I'm trying to
September.
tell you. Okay. The next fight that I got is the Clarissa Shield card, which is August 15th, and that's Clarissa Shields against
Give me a
Scott
second. I'll
Stair.
look it up.
I got Amanda Serrano on the 21st. I have in Vegas, I got Roly Tio August 22nd. I got Julio Cesar Martinez versus Mario Hernandez for an 8 round, and that's a main event. Uh Alexander Estrada, what? Espinoza. Oh, 10 round. Okay, that's not that Espinoza. Okay,
September 19th.
September 19th. Wow, we're down
Yep.
there.
It's in San Diego,
Got you. It's
California.
right here.
On the
Yep.
zone.
Jesse Romans is the co-main event to that fight
Got
for
who?
Roman's interim WBC middleweight title.
Yeah. Is he on the Canelo
Okay.
card? Mexico versus the world? No, Bobos. They got their own card. Boxing Rules says Pitbull couldn't stop Roach in that tune-up fight he had after Rayo beat him. He's not stopping Bravo. Melasa
Yeah,
says
but
Pitbull will sell out the building. He sells tickets. Cut creator in the building. Salute Boxing Rules. And September 19th, he just corrected it. San Diego's a beautiful city, says Bobos.
but hold up. Didn't Isa Pitbull Cruz stop Rolly?
You know we don't use the triangle theory here at Round One
I
Sports
know, but
Talk.
my man he's bringing in other fighters. He brought up other fighters. He
Well,
brought up
no,
other fighters, and he used
no. I'm not gonna let you go there, Edwin. I'm gonna read it
he
slow on
no,
what
but
he
he
said.
introduced other fighters, and
Boxing,
he said that
wait,
why
bo-
Isa Pitbull Cruz was gonna stop him, and he had
boxing
fucking
rules.
Rolly on stanky legs
No,
for
what
a
he said
while.
was, hold on. What he said was Pitbull couldn't stop Roach. That tune-up, and that was a tune-up. He said, "Stop Roach."
Frontline.
It,
At what point are you not recognize that he's
that's
bringing other fighters like Roach into the equation?
it was a tune-up fight after he fought
It
Rayo,
wasn't a
beat
tune-up
him.
fight. It wasn't
He's
no
not
goddamn
stopping
tune-up fight.
Bravos what
Lamar
he said.
Roach was coming off one of the most controversial fights against Tank Davis.
Okay,
How's that a
so
tune-up
that was a
fight?
controversy fight. Was
Huh?
that was a that was a controversial a draw with Pitbull.
Yeah. It wasn't no
Oh
tune-up fight. It was against two highly competitive fights. Lamar Roach fared well against Isa Cruz. The fight could have went either way, but for you to say that Isa Pitbull Cruz couldn't stop a tune-up fight, so you're calling up.
no,
Now you're saying
timeout.
Lamar Roach is a tune-up fighter.
What he said was, I know what he
Going into
said.
the fight, Lamar Roach was supposed to beat him.
I'm gonna translate. I'm gonna
Come on,
translate
man.
in
Make it make
lamest
sense.
terms so you can understand. I know I get what he's saying. What he's saying is, in lamest terms, that Pitbull has not looked the same since he entered 140 like he did at 135.
How is
That's what
that possible?
he
Wait a
hasn't looked
minute.
the
How
same.
is that possible if he won the belt at 140?
Whether he
That's
won
what
the
I'm
belt or
saying.
not, what he I know what he means is that Pitbull hasn't looked the same
He never
at
won a. He wait a minute. Wait. He never looked the same since he was at 135 to 140. He never won a world title at 135.
so look, he
He got
corrected
better
himself.
at
He said
140 because he won a world title.
my bad. He had a tune-up fight after Rayo, who was supposed to stop. It was after Rayo. He wasn't talking about Roach.
Oh, okay.
After Rayo, he had a tune-up fight, and that guy, that
All
fighter was
right.
he was supposed to stop. Now, I understood. I didn't get to that part of the like he said Pitbull down bad.
Down bad.
um August 29th, Pro Box Fight, says Richard. Pitbull looks better than before. Y'all tripping, says Bulls. Well, listen, at the end of the day, right?
What did he say? What Bobo say? Pitbull looks better than before. Y'all
Before.
tripping. Hey, Bubbles, they tripping. Bubbles, I'm telling you, he's looking better. You know what I'm saying?
No,
How you gonna tell me that he was better at 135? At 135, he never was a world
hey,
champion. He was better at 140. He became world champion.
hey,
Bubbles,
you
right?
know who he's training with for this camp, right?
Dile.
You know who he's
Huh?
training with?
Who?
Huh?
Who?
Reynoso.
Oh, Reyno. Isa Pitbull
Eh,
Cruz.
yeah.
He's with Canelo's team.
Yeah, we're gonna have to check. We're gonna have to
So
do a
it's
blood.
just
We're
a
gonna have to
matter
do
of time
blood. We're gonna
before
have
he
to do.
pops 30.
We're gonna do
Okay.
blood
You
work
know
on
what I'm
his
saying?
ass.
Yo,
Yo,
eggs,
you ain't shit.
fried
You
eggs,
ain't.
fried eggs. Hey, yo, no, tainted meat, tainted meat. You know what I'm saying? No, this they've already used that. It's gonna be tainted tea. It's gonna be a tea or a water bottle now. It's gonna be tainted. You know what I mean? So just wait for that to come.
Nah,
Shots
but it's good.
fired.
Boxing news. Boxing rule says it's gonna be a good fight for sure. I just want the truth. Says who y'all got? Noakes versus Burncheck on the Ituma card.
Um, wait a minute, wait. You talking about Jaya Pataya versus Notes?
No. Noakes versus Baroncheck.
Baroncheck?
It's on the Ituma card.
Oh, um, he's talking about the Notes that fought Abdullah Mason and Dennis Baranchek that fought Keyshawn Davis. I got Notes in the fight against Dennis Baranchek.
Okay.
I'll take
Boxing
Notes in the
rules.
fight.
Boxing rules says poor Ojo can't get a fight. Now,
I know, right?
I want you guys to understand this. In case y'all don't know, Ojo was offered to Pitbull Cruz before Nestor Bravo, and Pitbull Cruz turned down the Ojo fight. So they went to the next stablemate, which is Nestor Bravo.
Or
Does Edwin do any research at all? Question, says Bobos. Boxing Rule
on
says
what?
Roddy was supposed to fight Bravo. They should have gave Pitbull to Ojo Santiago. What happened Pitbull Cruz and Russell fight? Says Richard.
Hold up. Bubbles, how you gonna agree with me? I agree
And
with
then take
Edwin
shots at you.
100. And then the very next text, does Edwin does any research at all?
Yeah, Bulls say shit.
What the fuck is wrong with him? Hey yo, Bulls, that's not. Hey yo, hey, did we ever rinse him up? Because take that shit away right now. God damn it. That's why you
Yo,
don't get one, bro.
that's
You
a
be
different
tripping, bro.
that's a different Bobos though. It's not the same account.
Is it?
It's yeah, but it's probably the same Bobos. I don't know.
Oh shit, it ain't the same Bubbles, huh? It's like that fake round one that
yo,
be out there. You guys
yo,
hear about
I
that round one? He be all over the place. And they'd be
I
like,
just
all the time I pop up, they'd be like, is that the real round one? And they'd be like, yeah, that's him. That's him. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we got a fake with a real Bubbles. Please stand up. You know what I'm saying? We got an impersonator. You know what I mean?
I just want the truth. Says that Puerto Rican really beat Sugar Nunez. They robbed him. He's talking about Bidufo Diaz.
What do you think about that?
Uh, I don't. I as much as I was going for Pitufo, obviously that's my guy.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, it was a hell of a. I don't
Would you
think it was.
consider it an upset?
No, because
Really?
Sugar Nunes was the champion.
Okay, okay, okay.
He was defending. Um,
Okay, I'm just asking.
it was definitely a close fight. It could have
Yeah,
went
but
either
I mean,
way, and they
okay,
gave him
okay.
the champion's nod. So
Frontline. In comparison to the fight with Navarrete,
who?
what
Pitufo or Sugar Nunes?
Sugar Nunez, right? And
What
in
about?
comparison to the fight with Navarrete, what did you think his performance was what? Like what?
No, his bench versus Pitufo was a hell of a lot better.
A lot better,
A lot better
you would say? Okay.
than it was a lot better than the performance he did against Navarrete. But then again, you gotta understand its styles of fighting. You
I
got
think he was starstruck.
who? Sugar?
Sugar.
Uh, could be, but okay, if
He
you're
kept
comparing
saying
Pete,
into leading into the fight that he's my idol. Like I look up to him. I just think that his heart wasn't into it. He allowed to um you know Navarrete to be bigger than what he was.
you gotta understand, yo, you know that Navarrete and Oshaki Foster is brewing. They're almost finalizing a deal.
You think that actually is gonna happen?
I think so. I think so.
You
And
think
guess who
so?
I got? Guess who I got?
Navarrete.
There you go.
I got Oshaki Foster.
All right. Well, you can stay in the pot.
Listen, if I've never bet it with Navarrete and he fucking made me look this wrong this long, I'm not
Pal
going against it.
caldero. Pal
I'm not going
caldero.
against it. You know what I'm
Pal
saying?
caldero.
Hey yo, listen, I'm going to the Caldero because Navarrete every time he proves me wrong. Every single time I think he's gonna lose the fight. I think he's gonna lose his title in the next defense. Every single time. And he fucking goes out there and somehow he wins, man. He wins. When I saw him go down in that Wilson fight, right? I was saying to myself, Williams fight, I was saying to myself, this is it. It's over. Navarrete, he exposed him. That long ass Oh, front line. You haven't been around. But guess who's been taking shots at you?
Who?
Mr. Miyagi.
Oh.
Mr. Miyagi started saying, yo, Edwin, shout out to the UK referees that in some fight, and I started dying. I was like, yo, Mr. Miyagi. And he knew what he said. And he was like, yo, Mr. Miyagi was coming at you the other night. It was hilarious. I was like, "Where's Frontline when we need him?"
I'll
Yo, you
catch
should go
him.
back and check out the live.
I'll
I
catch
was
him.
crying. I was crying. I was like, "Okay, Mr. Miyagi, right?" So, they were just expressing how much you love UK refereeing. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, "Wow, this is crazy." I
You
forget
know
what we were
UK. You know
talking.
UK be cheating.
Yo, yeah,
UK.
yeah, because of because of the long counts. One, get back in your corner. One, two. What are you doing over there? Let's start over. One. That's UK referee. You know what I mean? What? Nunez will be champion again?
Yeah,
No,
no, he's got
he
a strong
hasn't.
possibility. He's a beast. But I think, like you said, I think he got starstruck, and but you
Yeah,
gotta
I
understand now,
think.
that this pressure is fucking different, bro.
Yeah, but the heated sugar didn't look. Nunez didn't look nothing. I mean, for the first 4 to 5 rounds, he
Okay, so you're okay.
literally.
I know what you're saying. So you gotta understand that not all Mexican fighters are fast starters. Sugar Nunez is one of those fighters that takes time for his body
Well, that's why. No,
to
no, no.
warm up.
Hold on, front line. Hold on, front line. Hold on.
Navarrete will come in there and throw 100 fucking punches per
Está bien,
round
está bien,
from
está
day
bien,
from
está bien.
round one all the way up.
No, no, no. Pero front line. Mira, what I was asking you, the reason why I asked you, Sugar, in the other fight, how'd you view him? In his other fights, he had way quicker starts. He's not typically a slow starter, Sugar. I mean, he'll have, like you say, it depends. Styles make fights. But I'm still on the line where he just happened to be fighting one of his idols. And I think it took a long time for him to turn on the engine. There's another guy that's gonna be fighting right now. Them two are gonna be fighting. What was it? Was what's his name? Uh, Charlie Suarez. What? I mean, who's the guy that got the
Ch-
DQ?
Charlie Suarez.
Charlie Suarez, right? Now, Charlie Suarez is scheduled to fight who frontline?
Well, I don't know if it's complete yet, but it's in negotiations. It's Loma.
Loma, right?
Yep.
Okay, Loma. All right. So whoever wins out of that, a rumored Loma, Charlie Suarez, whoever wins
Versus
is
the
going to
winner of
face
Navarrete versus
of
Oshaki
Navarrete's
Foster.
belt. Correct.
No, 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 not Navarrete's belt.
I
It'll
mean,
be
Oshaki,
the
what?
winner. So the winner of Loma and Charlie Suarez would face of Navarrete versus Oshaki. If those fights happen, that's the game plan.
Okay, wait. Okay, you kind of cut out there. I'm just going to make sure. Navarrete versus Oshaki Foster.
Navarrete versus Oshaki is in the works.
It's in the works.
On
Just
the
like
flip side, Loma versus Charlie
Loma
Suarez are in the works.
versus Charlie Suarez, right?
So the
That's what
winner of
I've heard.
Loma versus Suarez is going to face the winner Navarrete versus
Talk to
Oshaki.
me about it, frontline. Talk to me about it.
Well,
Charlie Suarez and Loma. Let's just start right there. Okay. Who do you got in the fight and why?
I want to say Loma, but I think the inactivity might play a big role. His age, so on and so forth. If he does get lucky and gets by Suarez for whatever reason, he's gonna have trouble with either one who wins
So
Navarrete
wait a
or
minute.
Shaki.
You quickly jumped over that. So you got Loma in the fight versus Suarez.
I got Loma to fight versus Suarez, but we'll have to see closer to fight night because that is subject to change. We got to see how ready Loma's gonna come back. What he's been out over a year, right?
Loma's last fight was in 2004, 12-5 when he fought George Camboza, December
2024.
5th, 24. That was his last fight.
So that's 2 years. 2 years.
Do
Suarez
you
might
still
beat
have
him.
him in the do you still have him in the fight? Now what are you saying? Now you're saying Suarez might beat him. I'm asking you. Who do you have in the fight? You're breaking it down. You're doing pretty good right now.
I
You're
might have
doing
to. I might have to swing Suarez way now. Now that I got the actual numbers. 2 years, bro.
two
Inactivity.
his, his last fight was 12-5, 2024. That was his last fight. He fought George Camboza for the 135-pound IBF Championship of the World. That's Loma's last fight. Yes.
Suarez. I got Suarez.
Okay.
You did say
Okay.
2004 at first though. That's why I was like, oh four into
2004.
2024.
That's what it
No,
is. I mean, I can't.
24. 24, not oh 04.
Oh, 24. Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
2024. Yes. You know what I mean.
Um,
You said two
and
years.
then Navarrete versus Oshaki. Honestly, I see that probably like a 60-40 in Navarrete's way.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You see it's 60-40 Navarrete's way?
Yep.
Okay, let me start at the Loma fight. Loma has 2 years in activity. Um, Charlie Suarez. Man, when's Charlie Suarez? Do you have any idea when his last fight was?
No,
Didn't
but
didn't
he
he just
really fought.
fight?
He really fought a couple months ago,
He
I think.
yeah, he just recently fought not too long
Yep.
ago. I'm not too sure what month it was, so I did see that. Okay, so uh
And to be honest, I would love it to be Suarez versus Navarrete for a rematch, and this time it's for a meaning because it's for a belt. Because that first
yeah.
fight, I think Suarez got robbed of
Oh, I know he got robbed. I don't think he got robbed. I know he got robbed. I saw the instant replay. While them showing instant replay, them saying at the fight, there is no instant replay. So we're going to call this a no contents. While showing the instant replay, claiming there's no instant replay available because it was shut down at ringside. While showing the instant replay, that it was a full punch. That was no head clash, nothing. So he opened up his eye. Charlie Suarez opened up his eye, Navarrete's eye with a punch. That was legit, baby. Unfortunately, I don't think that Charlie Suarez gets past Loma. I got Loma in the fight. You can give Loma 2 years inactivity. He's just a different type of creature, different type of fighter. He was raised under a different type of system. I think still after 2 years inactivity, hasn't been as inactive as we think. I think Loma trains periodically throughout the day and the weeks. I think he's just meant like that. He's just that kind. With that kind of father, I doubt he was sitting on his couch for 2 years.
hey
I
Bobos.
re-
Don't
I
get me wrong.
I really
Don't
doubt that.
don't think that I'm picking Suarez to beat Navarrete in the rematch. No, no, no. Don't get that twisted. Not one bit. But I don't discard Suarez from what happened the first fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I still got Navarrete winning, no matter what. Navarrete winning.
Right. So
What I'm saying though,
now,
that rematch would be exciting because number one, it gives Suarez the chance to get his lick back after the no contest, and the reward for that would be the belts on the line. Whereas before, there were no belts on the line.
right, right. Now, so as far as the first fight, I got Loma in the first fight. I think he's going to beat Suarez. I'm gonna take Loma in that fight. As far as Navarrete versus Oshaki Foster, I think this is where Navarrete's reign ends right here. I think Oshaki Foster unifies the 3 belts because Navarrete does have 2 belts, right? So if they fight, that'll be for Shockey Foster's WBC World Strap, right? So it'll be for all 3. I think Oshaki walks out of that fight victorious. I think it'll be a hard fought fight for Oshaki Foster, but I think that he has the tools and the capabilities to beat a fighter like Navarrete. I think that Navarrete has fought special fighters, but in different spurts. Either the guy was special, but he was too small and he was a good boxer, he was just too small, or he was big and he wasn't a good boxer. Those are kind of like Navarrete's fighters that he's been fighting. And Oshaki Foster's right in the middle. He's just that good, just big enough, you know. And I think that this is going to be his toughest fight, to be honest with you. I think that Oshaki Foster comes in and he wins in a decision. I think he wins in a decision. I also think that the Loma fight goes to the cards. I think Loma, Loma can punch. If you know what I'm saying, what Suarez there is not careful, uh Loma has the potential of stopping you. He has this knack for really, you know, overwhelming you with a volume of hard punches. He did stop the last guy he fought, George Camboza. He did stop him. So, and just up until that point, he was the first man to knock out George. Then Richard Hitchens followed up with that. But until up to that point, Teofimo Lopez lost to George, and Devin Haney went 24 rounds with George. They weren't able to knock him out. Loma was the one that came and stopped him. You understand? So, look, Charlie Suarez, good fighter. Good fighter. But when you box good, that favors Loma style. Because now you're boxing and he's slipping at the right angles. Now, Frontline said something very interesting. Loma's getting up there in age. And none of us beat Father Time. Unless you're Tom Brady, right? But none of us beat Father Time. And, Frontline might be right. Loma's been out of the ring for 2 years. Ring rust, inactivity, that's a real thing. I think Loma's a better student, but I don't know. I would be guessing at that point. What I got to take into consideration are the facts. The fact is, Loma's been out of the ring since 2024. That's just the facts. When will this fight get scheduled? Remind you, me and Frontline, we're talking about a rumored fight. This ain't no fight that the contract's been signed, finalized, and we're going into press conferences. We're not there yet. So how much longer will Loma be out of the ring before he enters with Charlie Suarez, if that happens to be the man he chooses to come back to? Loma. We know we're sitting here, the boxing world, and we're eager and with anticipation to see some of these big fights and some of these legends come back to the game, because the game needs it. The game needs it right now. We got our fucking guys. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Anybody know what Tank's doing? He's still taking the rest of the years off because he can do that, right? Because when boxing's struggling, the face of boxing, Tank Davis, is our savior. Not this year. Not for the rest of this year, right? At least. So who do we have left? Shit. Sometimes it gets crazy. I want you to think about this, guys. I want you to think about this. Manny Pacquiao is ranked number 4 for the WBO. Let that set in for a second. Manny Pacquiao, right now, Is how hurting is boxing.
Hey, Bobos, yes, that is true. Loma is sparring in Puerto Rico. Yes, he is.
You see, there you go. There's my boxing round one community. You see what I say? Noma doesn't strike me as the type of guy that is just laying on his couch, man. Not with that kind of father. Look, what I just say, and then somebody comes in and says, "What? Loma sparring in Puerto Rico? We got sightings." That man, he doesn't come across like the type of guy, even if he was, you know, healing or whatever he was. I just think instinctively, Loma, he'll sit down for a little while, like every human, but I just see him getting up. You know what, honey? I just got to go check out the guys in the gym. I got to see if they're okay. And you know how they are. Then all of a sudden they pick up the rope. They start jumping. Let me just check out this rope. It was just laid on the floor. Nobody put it away. Let me use it. And these guys are supposed to be retired. Lomas, the Terrence Crawfords of the world, they're retired fighters. And all of a sudden they're walking in the gym, right? What's that? Equipment on the floor? Let me put it on. It shouldn't be on the floor. It should be worn, right? Loma puts on the gloves, you know, and that's how it starts. And I don't think that Loma has just been sitting back for that long. I think Loma's been secretly hurt, actually. I think he's been having some back problems and shoulder problems for the last few years in his career. I also believe that a lot of his injuries now have to do with his father pushing him that hard, unfortunately.
Hey,
I
Richard's
don't
got a
want to.
point there.
What's that?
Is Loma gonna make weight training in Puerto Rico? Se va a saltar de mofongo.
Diablo. Chacho, just keep them away from the Boricuas and Mofongo. And you can't do that in the island of Puerto Rico. Se jodió. Se jodió. You know what I mean? How are you gonna do that? You're in the island. Te jodiste. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know, man, but Loma is he's a dedicated fighter. He knows what it takes to be a world champion. He's been in these situations and big fights before. Remind you that Lomachenko, retired from the sport with a fairly terribly small record. Remember, Loma retired with 18 fights, 12 knockouts, and 3 losses. 18 fights. Shit, with 18 fights, you should be the top prospect coming into a contender. Just with 18 fights, you almost should be in the range to compete for a world title. You know what I'm saying? Like 18 fights, you retired?
Hey, Edwin, hold it down for a little bit. I'm gonna go get something to eat and I'll be back.
Yep. And that's what I mean about Loma, in his story, when you look back at Loma's story. Yes, Loma is a decorated boxer, a unified world champion. I believe he has multiple divisions, and he's a two-time gold medalist, right? Okay. But I think that 2 gold medals, one was good enough. The Olympics comes around every 4 years. Every 4 years. That's 8 years right there. And never mind what it took you to prepare. I think that his father loved his son a lot, Loma. A little too much, if you ask me. How is that possible? That a father can love a son too much? Because enough enough love is never enough for your child. Now is it? Right? But in this sense, he wanted to prepare his son so well, Lomachenko, that he kept him competing in amateur things, dancing classes for 5 to 6 years. You're 4 years too long. 2 years, you could have figured that shit out. It seems like everything that Loma's dad did to Loma, he did it in excessive amount. Not one gold medal, two gold medals. And I think that that hurt Loma's career. His father didn't want to let his son, the little boy, get hurt. And he was like, like Nemo's dad. You ever see the cartoon Nemo? And he never wanted his son to go out because he had the little fin. And his father was overprotected of him. I don't think you should go to school now. Why don't we try this back in 10 more years? Why don't we have this conversation in 10 more years? Then we'll see if you can go outside. You know what I'm saying? That's how Loma's dad was. He was a bit too protective of Loma. What he did for Loma, beautiful. He made a special fighter in Lomachenko. But had he not kept Loma in the Olympics for another gold medal, Loma wouldn't have felt like he needed to be rushed. In only his second professional fight, he competed for a world title and lost. Had Loma not went and won the second gold medal, he would have came into boxing. He would have had a traditional boxing career where he would have earned his way up the ranking, and we would have had more of Loma. Imagine 5 more years with Lomachenko in his prime. 5 more years of Loma, because it's 4 years in between both Olympics. So at least 5 more years of Loma in professional boxing, rather than him sitting back trying to win another gold medal. Impressive gold medals, they're impressive. Yes, that's 3-round fights with headgear. Gold medals and golden gloves hold a lot of weight in boxing for some reason. It does, right? But I would have rather seen you in the pro for a world champion, and maybe you become undisputed, Loma. In your pursuit to get 2 gold medals, you probably gave up the opportunity of ever becoming undisputed. Had you came in the game 5 years earlier, you would have got there. You would have got there. And I think Loma's father is a great dad. He loved his son that much, but he just loved him a bit too much. He didn't want Loma to get hurt. He wanted Loma to be the best. And he would always say, Loma, you're not ready. Loma, nope, you're not ready. Then you got to remind yourself, Loma did suffer 3 losses in his career, right? Let's think back to every loss. Of course, like I said, I already told you, in his second professional fight, he had suffered his first loss. So you already know that, okay? All right. So what okay, so uh he lost to Devin Haney. Loma, he went 12 rounds with Devin Haney. That was his last loss, right? That was Loma's last loss was Devin, right? And then um uh um uh Orlando Saliris was Orlando Salido, I think was his name. That's the champion that he fought in his second fight. He lost to him, right? Um uh, oh yeah, and Teofimo Lopez. He lost to Tio, so he lost to Orlando Salido, Teofimo Lopez, and Devin Haney. That's who Loma lost to, right? I think that Loma, man, I think he was a really unique fighter. I think that Loma was a great talent. You know what I'm saying? but compared to the black American fighters, he would have just been considered another fighter, to tell you the truth. I think that the color of his skin at one point in time really um it like people were like, oh shit, like look at this little white dude do all this shit. And I think a lot of brothers took offense to the fact that he was being called the Matrix when they were like, look at me, like we do this all day type shit. And I think that that was a mixed true perception of Loma, where that he got a lot of criticism, but I had to be honest. He moved exceptionally well, hands and feet. No matter what your opinion or what you think, oh no, they hyped Loma up or he wasn't hyped, whatever you view. I brought you both sides. This is what this side is saying. This is what this side is saying about him. And this is what I'm saying about him. What I'm saying about Lomachenko, he accomplished a lot in the sport of boxing, regardless of whatever you think. He accomplished a lot in the sport of boxing. I think that the man moved exceptionally well. I don't think he was a one dimensional fighter, but I think you can get to Loma like Teal did, like Devin did, in a way, like Devin, in a way. The Devin fight was a lot closer than the Teal fight, of course. But I still think that Devin, won the fight. Unfortunately, yes. I can't give that fight to Loma. And I've watched it over and over and over. I just nah. You gotta definitively beat the champion to get the champion so that the champion doesn't get the champion nod. But you're not fighting a one belt champion. You're fighting Devin Haney for 4 belts. You're gonna have to really whoop his ass to take them away. Unfortunately, he didn't do enough. Loma. He just didn't. Had he knocked Devin down at least one time in the fight or something like that, then yeah. But what good is it to be 4 belt champion if you don't win the razor close decision? It doesn't go your way. What good is it to be champion? If the fight is close, it must go to the champion. You got to definitively beat him. Unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbles. I can't give Loma that fight. He just didn't do enough to beat Devin. He did great against Devin, yes. He had his moments. He won his fair share of rounds against Devin. But he started to figure out Devin too late. You remember in the fight, Devin even asked his father in the fight, Dad, he knows what I'm doing. He's on to me. And his dad told him, improvise. You're Devin Haney. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I mean about Devin. Situations like that about him not having an identity. Unless he wasn't reminded or told what to do to like boxing robotic, right? Which he has great form and everything. But you had to tell him what to do. He was lost in the fight with Loma at one point, Devin Haney. And that's what he did. He went out there and he improvised and he held Loma back. Loma didn't do anything, in the closing part of the fight that I felt like when the fight was over, I was like, Loma got this. Nah. Just because Shakur Stevenson got up and said, Loma won that fight. Oh, well said from a fucking hater. Something a hater would say. Oh, no wonder you're Shakur Stevenson. You'd go against Devin fucking every day of the week. So when Shakur said that, I took that with a grain of salt. Man, this dude's just hating. So I didn't even pay attention to what Shakur said, actually, because it didn't matter. Because that's Devin's ops talking about Devin. Oh, let me guess. He got the other guy? Oh, I didn't think he went there to speak for Devin. You know what I'm saying? Shakur's the ops. Come on, man. Fuck out of here, bro. I didn't listen to not a word he said because it's not. That's coming from a biased standpoint. 100%. Even if he gave Devin his props, that props is still biased from Shakur. He's props. It has to come with something behind that. Come on, man. Don't be silly. You know what I mean? I love Lomachenko's style, how he moves in the ring. Rich, yeah, man. I like Loma as a fighter, man. I had to admit, like, no, man. He moves good top and bottom. They move as one. Not all fighters do that. Some guys fight and then they'll have like a stumble step because they'll be out of position, or they'll get in position here to throw the punch, but they got to cover up because they don't know how to shift into the next position. Lomachenko understood distance, timing, positioning, angles. He understood angles real good. And if you couldn't keep up with him, Loma would step around you, step back on the, and you'd come out of your guard, and you wouldn't know where the fuck he was. You'd be like he threw a jab. You went like this, it impaired your vision. When you looked, he was on the side of you, and he was already punching you in the face. If you don't have the agility and the ability to keep up to that, I really believe something was wrong with Loma in the TO fight. Looking back at it, knowing his history about his shoulder, uh, there might have been something wrong with his shoulder. I never seen Lomachenko not engage or throw 3 punches in one round. He has a recorded round in the TO fight where he threw actually 3 punches. He didn't fight for like 5 rounds. But when he started fighting, he started whooping T.O.'s ass. T.O. bit down on the mouthpiece, and he fought him the 11th, 12th round with the championship rounds, and I think that that's what won T.O. the fight, ultimately. But he sure the fuck didn't fight Teofimo Lopez like he fought Devin. When he fought Devin, Devin came out, Loma came out fast in that fight, I remember. From round 1, Loma took it to Devin, and he made Devin fight him. Devin wasn't sitting back just waiting for Loma. No, he didn't have to wait for Loma. Loma was in his face from the minute I remember that fight. From the minute the bell went ding, Loma went to work. Loma did his best against Devin. Devin was just bigger. He had a bigger reach, bigger. He was taller, better attributes. He weighed more. That's it. Devin was able to endure the much smaller Loma. To tell you the truth, Loma, for all the losses he really got and shit, he should have never been up there in those weight divisions, not even at 135, 130. He should have never, well, 130, yes. See, because in my opinion, Loma was a true 126 pounder. He should have fought his career at 126 and 130. He should have never been at 135, Loma. He wasn't big enough for 135. What Loma said was the skills pay the bills. There was nobody at 130 at the time, 126 with any kind of names. He wasn't going to make and get the respect from the boxing world. What he had to do was beat the top American fighters, as always. If you can do that, if you can beat the top American fighters, the top Mexican fighters, or the top UK fighters, now you're saying something. Because those are the 3 top countries, boxing countries in the sport. It's either a UK guy, a Mexican guy, or an American guy. That's what it is. And if you can beat the top, like the Sauls or the Uziks or the fucking Terrence Crawfords of the world, right? Well, then now you're getting in. And that's You know, uh, Loma, you know, I remember one time, at one point in time, remember this, guys? It was a crazy coincidence that Ukraine was going through a war. Denis Berenchek became the Ukraine champion, then Usyk, then Loma. All three of them were champions at the exact same time the Ukrainian war was going on. And I thought it was a big conspiracy that, but nope, he beat Navarrete. He beat him. Denis Berenchek beat him, took the belt straight up, right? Then fucking in that fight, I was like, and then when Loma beat the fuck out of George Camboza, I was like, nah, I don't think George took a dive. I think Loma just beat him. Then when fucking Usyk for who was it during the time? Tyson Fury, right? It was Tyson Fury during the time. He beat Tyson Fury. And I was like, bro, no way 3 Ukrainian fighters won 3 belts or multiple belts in the exact same time your country's at war. And I went back and I looked at the fights and I had to admit, I was like, none of those fights look like they sold out. They literally let nature take its course, and the Ukraines ended up on top. And I think they ended up on top fair and square. Like sometimes you're like, man, they're gonna let these guys win because their country is going through some shit. They'll do that or something. Everybody thought that when the Twin Towers got hit in New York City, that the New York Yankees was gonna win that World Series against the A's, the Astros, and they didn't. They didn't win. And then it came out that they were cheating, the Astros, and they were banned. Their rings were taken back. Yeah, they were banned from the record books. So their years that they won, they actually called them cheaters. But I guess the Yankees never got that ring for that year for the city. Now, did they? When the Twin Towers got hit. So you can't always say that it plays out like that, right? But it was crazy during the time. I remember Ukraine was in a full-fledged war with Russia, and they were asking for American dollars to fund their war. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it was like 3 Ukrainian champions back to back. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Right. And when I watched all the fights, I can't honestly say that the other guy sold out. I just was like, damn, he whooped his ass. I think that Loma was beat the shit out of fucking George. So I don't know. I don't know. Uh Let me see. Well, I would have to look this up. Um what was Lomachenko? Can anybody help me? Um what was Lomachenko's last fights, right? Um George Camboza, right? Of course, we established that. Then it was Devin Haney, right? And then it was Jermaine Ortiz from Worcester, my guy, right? And then it was Richard Cormier, Cormier, right? Richard Cormier, right? And then that Japanese fighter that uh uh um mm, um he has like Nakatani. It sounds like that a lot, but and then he fought him. So those are just, I think, his last fights off the top, with Loma. Hey, listen, man. Um, I think that Lomachenko is he's just a different type of fighter. I don't count him out the fight. Charlie Suarez, great fighter himself. Anything can happen in the fight. Let's see if we get this fight together. I've been dying for a couple good fights. I feel like I've already, saw a couple good fights, and I'm ready for another major fight. Another major fight. So, fight fans, listen. I'm gonna wrap this up right here. Loma got robbed. That man cried. He was so emotional. You can cry tears and everything. That doesn't mean you got robbed. It just means that you're crying because you know you didn't do enough. You know in your hearts of hearts, Loma, you didn't do enough. You did everything you can do, and still Devin was just that much bigger than you, that much, faster than you or whatever. And you just didn't do enough to beat him. You were never ever to achieve your dream as undisputed, and Devin got it. So I think that the judges got it right in that fight. Like I said, I'm still on the line. Loma did great. If you take away all the belts, Loma might win that fight on the cards. Yes. Loma probably wins the fight. You take away all the belts. Devin coming into the fight with 4 belts, you got to respect that. If the fight is close, it's going to go to the champion, unfortunately. And that's what we had there, in my opinion. We had a close fight that could have went either way. And if it was that close, damn it, what good is it to have 4 belts if in a close fight you don't give it to me? They gave it to Devin, and I didn't see anything wrong with it. I thought that Loma fought his heart out. I thought he deserved the fight, the victory. Yes. For the way he fought Devin, hell yeah, he deserved that. Yes. But deserving or crying doesn't grant you the victory. Unfortunately, the judges saw it for Devin. If you don't want it to go to the scorecards, stop him. Or at least put him down a couple times in the fight. Make it convincingly where they can't deny you. You understand? SoFi fans, thank you for tuning in here. Another edition here of Round One Sports Talk. Loma beats Haney 8-4. I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to disagree. In a regular fight, you take away the belts. I think Loma wins that fight. I think he wins the fight. You put the belts in there, he doesn't win the fight. You see how I'm telling you? I'm telling you, you take the belts away from that fight, Loma wins. It's a regular fight. Loma wins that fight on the judges' scorecard. I bet you he does. But the title fight to go the same way, you can't win like that. You're not really supposed to win like that. You gotta beat the champion definitively. 8-4 is a little bit of a stretch by 1 round in my book. I would have saw it 7-5. 8-4 was a little bit too much. 7-5 would have been okay for Loma. In a regular fight, 7-5, Loma wins. 7-5 in a 4-belt title fight, Loma wins. Loses 7-5. He wins 7-5 in a title fight for undisputed against Devin, and Loma's winning 7-5. He loses the fight. You got to do more. Some countries view it as no, like they don't take the title into consideration, but some places view it. And championships are not to be underrated. I try to tell you guys that Albert Bell was a professional boxer for 13 years, undefeated, until he came into the fight with Abdullah Mason. After 13 years in professional boxing and being undefeated, he got his first world title fight. I mean, he was a professional for 13 years. That's just one belt. 4 belts? Guys, I don't think you guys are following me. Loma couldn't win that fight like that. And I knew it. I knew it. I said it going into the fight. I got receipts. Just watch my live stream of it. I told you all week. All week. Bro, guys, remember this is an undisputed fight. You're gonna have to beat him like Terrence beat Saul. And they mysteriously gave Saul a few rounds to make the fight look a little bit closer to give Terrence the victory. But in actuality, just sit back and think, and if you can be honest with yourself, you don't even got to answer it here, but just be honest to yourself. How many rounds did Saul actually win against Terrence? That's how he beat him for those 4 belts. And that's what I feel Loma should have did. Anyway, thank you, fight fans, for tuning in. You know, I'm always here. I got a safe platform where we can talk boxing. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for everybody chatting. Listen, drop your comments in the chat for me. I really need to get back in the good graces of the algorithm because I got copyrighted 21 times in the last month. So they're not pushing out my videos. I'm getting real. They're only sending it out to my members and to some of my subscribers. I got a little message from YouTube. I had to sign some things. So I really need you guys to hit this like button to get my videos back out there in the good graces in the boxing world. So if you like what you hear here, bro, it's nothing just to go like that, bro. Just to hear one of your good or favorite boxing YouTube channels that you enjoy having around, show me that support, man. And that's what I'm asking you. Thank you, fight fans. Have a great night. Protect yourself and look after your loved ones. Family first. I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. You guys have a great night.